Good morning, everybody. That's right. We are back in the studio again. Well, not yet. We're still out back. I'm having my coffee. We had to go out and do some blood work this morning, get a little bit of that adulting done, and now I'm getting ready to head back into the studio so we can start throwing paint at some freaking robots. I spent all day yesterday messing with the masking fluid on it. Certain spots it just was not gripping, so I had to go back and layer it on just to get it to stay. And because I didn't feel like using masking tape. Seems like I have a feeling that I'm going to have to actually scuff the rest of the canvas that isn't masked off just to make sure the paint grabs, because I feel like the clear coat that I put down to hold the ink down is repelling things from bonding to the canvas. So I'm going to have some coffee, wake the fuck up, and get back to it. Now, keep in mind, I have masked off the robot and the kite, and I didn't do anything to the hill. So I'm throwing all this paint down, knowing damn well I'm covering things that are going to get peeled up. It does flake when it dries, so I'm trying not to go too heavy like I did on the first robot when I lost half my paint. All right, so I'm going to show you the one I did inside first. I took a lot of different color yellows, watered them all down, and then I just threw yellows. I threw a little pink in to give a little orange up top, but I didn't really address it too much. Smudged my fingers. I'm fucking this paint up because it doesn't have to be perfect for this piece. And then I just kind of feathered some pinks there. The most details can be in the robot and the kite, even though they're done. So now let's go outside and I'll show you what I did with the other one. Oh, the sun is going and we're roasting out here. We are still drying, it looks like. I can't tell if it's just tack. No, it's dry. It's just because it's over the masking fluid. So I did mask off the road, the robot, the bench. I did not mask off the sky in here, which is unfortunate because I did get paint in here. But that's okay, because I'll work with that. That's just faded in a little bit anyway when I put my light in there. And I'll put some lighting in this as well. But for now, it's time to start peeling this masking fluid off so we can see how good or bad it worked against the spray paint. This was a new technique for me, and I wasn't really sure if the spray paint would eat through the liquid latex layer of masking fluid, but we're gonna find out in a minute. All right, last step. I did go back with the white spray paint and just beat the fuck out of it. Kind of gave me a nice feathering into my blue here and there. When we peel off our masking fluid, we'll see what survived of the lampposts that I masked off, and that should make a lot more sense. So let's let this dry and we'll come back in a little bit to take care of that. Now that you spent enough time outside letting this paint dry, let's go back through and peel off the masking fluid. This came off relatively easy this time because I did learn from my first time. I went a little thicker. It makes it a little easier to pull off. I also went back with a stiff brush and brushed away the flakes as it came off. Unfortunately, did leave this giant freaking strip where the wire was, so I'm going to have to go back through with a brush, and I did decide to add some color. I think once this all sets, I'll probably also pull out my paint pens and go back and put colors on all of the lights, since the kite is being strung up by Christmas lights. I also plan to put a little bit of color into the kite and the ribbon. We're going to use metallics for that, just because we're doing robots here and I feel like everything is made of metal in Bolt's world. I don't want to abuse color here because I don't want to take away from the robots, so we're just doing a little bit of color in the kite, coloring in the ribbons, and adding color to the lights on the string. But the kite's going to stay primarily white with a little hint of metallic blues. All right, so we're back. We're pretty much done with Bolt Flies a Kite, I think. I decided to put a little bit of a small minimalist background in there. I don't want to take too much focus away from the main character. So I think we're going to sign this one, call it done. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go see what the one outside looks like. Well, it looks just like we left it. It also looks dry, and it looks like I'm gonna have a hard time getting this masking fluid off, so let's go inside and use some tools to get it off. learning a new way again. I used a third method here. I used spray paint to make this background, which means that the paint dries differently and it gave a little bit of a hard shell over the masking fluid. I was able to get it off with a lot more ease than I thought, but it was very different from the other two attempts. Well, I think that came out pretty freaking badass. The freaking spray paint gave me a nice little spray pattern there. I still gotta bring something through with this line here, but it's definitely coming along. I think that we can call this a good session for today, and I invite you to come back tomorrow to see the finished products, because I ain't giving it all to you in one day. See you next time.